Welcome to today's explainer. Today, we're going to be unpacking a highly actionable, step-by-step 7-day framework designed to permanently eliminate procrastination. If you've ever felt stuck, frustrated, or just kind of behind in your own life, we are going to explore exactly how to break out of that cycle for good.
Okay, let's dive into this agenda really quick. We're going to cover the procrastination myth, then move into Phase 1, mind and action, Phase 2, focus and discipline, Phase 3, momentum and accountability, and finally, transforming your life daily. We're basically breaking down a massive psychological hurdle into a clear, bite-sized system.
All right, Section 1, the procrastination myth. Let's diagnose the exact daily struggle we all face. Be honest with me for a second. Do you ever wake up just completely full of ambition, you make this giant, epic to-do list, and then you go to bed with literally 0 tasks completed? Yeah, me too. And then you inevitably end up cursing yourself thinking, man, what is wrong with me? Am I really this lazy? It is an incredibly heavy emotional burden, right? But what if I told you your current status quo is built on a total misunderstanding?
Because here is the absolute truth. Procrastination is not laziness. If you take away anything from us today, let it be this. You are not experiencing some kind of moral failing. Your struggle is actually a deeply ingrained biological and psychological response. It's a game your brain is playing with you, and once you know the rules, you can finally win it.
So what's actually happening? Well, procrastination is a psychological response to stress. It's driven by fear of failure, perfectionism, and your brain literally hunting for cheap dopamine. Think about it. You look at a massive daunting task and you feel stressed. Your brain just wants to protect you from that anxiety. It wants an escape. So what does it do? It seeks out the easiest shortcut possible. Suddenly, you're mindlessly scrolling Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts for an hour. There's no way around it. You aren't lazy. Your brain is just desperately trying to escape the stress of the work.
Moving right along to Section 2, Phase 1, Mind and Action. This is where we start the direct battle against our own minds.
Here's the timeline for our first 5 days. Brain dump, imperfect action, build routine, dopamine reset, and future decisions. We are basically framing each day as a micro battle against a very specific psychological enemy. Breaking the war down like this makes victory so much more manageable. Let's see how day 1 starts.
Day 1 is all about clearing out the mental clutter. The absolute biggest reason we put things off is simply because we literally don't know where to start. It's like a giant puzzle. So, step 1, grab a blank piece of paper. Step 2, do a massive brain dump. Write out every single mental task that's currently swirling around in your head. Getting those thoughts out physically removes the mental clutter that's blocking you. Step 3 is just enjoying that newfound visual clarity, which completely eliminates that paralyzing overthinking.
And this brilliantly illustrates our mindset for day 2. Done is better than perfect. On day 2, we are fighting the ghost of perfectionism. So many of us refuse to start because we want everything to be absolutely flawless right out of the gate. But honestly, your only goal today is to force a deliberately imperfect, maybe even terrible start. Just get it down on paper or on the screen, because once you actually start, the improvements are naturally going to follow.
Okay, Section 3, Phase 2, Focus and Discipline. We've started the work. Now how do we sustain it?
Day 3 tackles a massive trap: motivation versus discipline. Look, if you're waiting around for a sudden burst of motivation to strike, you're going to be stuck for a long time. It's a trap. Motivation might start the work, sure, but it relies on waiting for just the right feeling. Discipline, on the other hand, actually finishes the work because it relies on a consistent routine. On day 3, the whole strategy is to stop trusting motivation and start relying on discipline.
Which brings us to day 4, the dopamine reset. This is absolutely crucial. It's a micro battle against instant gratification. Our phones are constantly feeding us these quick hits of entertainment, right? Which makes our actual important tasks feel ridiculously boring by comparison. So today, you have to regain control of your physical environment. Place your phone in another room. Activate focus mode on all your devices. You need to create a completely 100% distraction-free work environment to cut off that cheap dopamine supply.
Next up, Section 4, Phase 3, Momentum and Accountability. This is all about locking in those newly formed habits.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how day 5 completely flips our perspective. We have your current self on the left, who just wants immediate comfort and delays tasks, and your future self on the right, who inherits all the stress and suffers the actual consequences. Procrastination is basically a direct betrayal of your future self's happiness. So before you put off a task today, you got to ask yourself, is this decision going to make my future self happy, or is it going to put them in a really difficult spot?
On day 6, we unlock the massive power of the number 5, the 5-minute momentum rule. It is so simple, but wow, is it effective. Just tell yourself you're going to sit down and work for exactly 5 minutes. That's the whole shebang. It completely tricks your brain, because once a vehicle actually starts moving, it's much harder to stop than to just keep going. Push past that initial 5-minute friction, the momentum takes over, and your productivity is absolutely going to skyrocket.
And finally, day 7. The accountability wall. You know, human nature dictates that we break promises to ourselves almost effortlessly, but add some external pressure, that totally changes the game. Tell a trusted friend, notify a mentor, share your goals with a family member, and actually give them permission to ask you for progress updates. When you know someone else is going to demand an accounting of your progress, it becomes nearly impossible to delay. You're basically building a wall that stops you from retreating.
All right, final section, section 5, transforming your life daily. Let's talk about applying this framework.
So, who is this challenge actually for? Does it apply to your specific situation? Well, whether you're a student prepping for massive competitive exams, a corporate professional hungry for rapid career growth, an ambitious content creator, or an entrepreneur needing strict discipline, this framework is completely adaptable. Mastering execution and beating procrastination is a real game changer. It changes everything, regardless of your specific goals.
I want you to really internalize this quote. Your life doesn't change with one huge decision, but with small daily actions. Stop obsessing over that huge, overwhelming end goal. Actually scratch that, just totally ignore it for now. Empower yourself by shifting your entire focus to the immense power of micro-actions. Taking just one small action today is exactly what turns tomorrow's overarching dream into reality.
Which brings us to the end. I'm leaving you with a provocative question today. What specific, deeply held dream is your procrastination killing right this very second? What are you actually losing by waiting until tomorrow? Don't let your brain trick you into another day of cheap dopamine. I dare you to type "challenge accepted" in your mind right now and begin day 1 immediately. Grab that blank piece of paper and start your brain dump today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.